prepare for departure. Begin final checklist. Engine temperature, check. Vodka temperature, check. Martini shakers, check. Cue announcement and go announcement.
From the cockpit, it's the Tom Leykis Show.
Flight 209er clear for Vector 324.
You have clearance, Clarence. Roger, Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
And now, here he is, Tom Leykis.
Thank you for tuning in to the Tom Leykis Show. This is where America gets together to talk about the issues you really care about. It's a different kind of a radio talk program. We're the radio talk show that is not hosted by a right-wing wacko or a convicted felon. No! I am your host. Write down our toll-free telephone number. You're going to need it. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio. And in case you haven't been paying attention, or hopefully you didn't notice, I've been gone for 3 weeks. 3. Count them. 3 weeks. That's the most time off I have ever taken at one time. And obviously I didn't want to tip you off to this in advance. Why not? Because I didn't want you tuning out, for Christ's sake. Because I'll bet you listened for days and days and days and had no idea that I wasn't here. All right, maybe some of you knew, but you people are freaks. You people listen every hour of every day. The average person doesn't even know. Just got back from 2 weeks in South America. And, it's a whole different culture. It's almost like going to another country. It really is. By the way, when you were in school, can I ask you a question? Just to review something that was being discussed when I was in South America. Can I ask you a question? When you were in school, did they teach you about the continents? All the various continents? You know, I don't mean incontinence, Grandma. I mean continents. When you were in school, how many continents did they tell you there are? Dean, you're absolutely right. If you went to school in the United States of America, we believe there are 7 continents. The continents are North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, and Antarctica. 7 continents. And you would be amazed to know that there is an entire continent where they teach something completely different. I mean, how would you dispute that fact? In my mind, how could there be any less than 7 continents, or any more? There are 7. Isn't a fact a fact? Well, not in South America. You know what they teach people in South America? There are 5 continents. 5 only. Are you curious as to which ones made the cut? I'm going to give them to you, okay? We agree on Europe. We agree on Asia. We agree on Africa. Those 3 we agree on. Now, you know how they taught you there are 5 vowels, A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y? Sometimes they count Antarctica as a 6th continent. There are people now who say, well, it's really 6. But most of them don't. Most of them believe 5, okay? We agree on Europe, we agree on Asia, we agree on Africa. But now here's where we start to differ. We call Australia a continent. Guess what? They call it Oceania. Oceania. And I think it includes more than what we consider to be Australia. And get this one. North America and South America, there is no South America. There is no North America. There is America. It's all one thing. Now, nobody here is ever going to believe that. Come on. Most of us believe that all those countries are down there. They got their continent down there. And to emphasize this fact, in case anyone had any doubts, we went through and we dug the Panama Canal just to put a little exclamation point on it. You guys are South America, and we are North America. And just so you couldn't say we were a racist country, we let Mexico into the club. So before anybody says, well, you hate Latinos, no! Mexicans are North Americans, but not the rest. They are South Americans. That's it. Central America? Central America is not North America or South America. It's just a bunch of islands out there we call Central America. They don't count as continents. We don't count them in. Cuba, not on a continent. It's an island. But it's not a continent. Puerto Rico. What is that, the 51st state? I don't even know. What is Puerto Rico? It's a country, but it's not a country. It's a country that's not the United States, but it has interstate highways, and we give them welfare. I don't know what it is. What is it? I don't know. But it's amazing that they could teach something completely different. You thought a fact was a fact, but it's not. Should I tell you some more about my trip to South America? Okay, I'll tell you a little more. This is a completely different culture. I mean, you think it's different, but it's more different than you think. Because a number of South American countries happen to believe that they identify with other countries. For example, I know there are many people in this country who like to identify with, for example, individual countries. Some people say I'm a German American, or I'm an Italian American, or I'm an Irish American. But many South American countries identify with Europe as a whole, more than they do with North America. Of course, they think we're all one continent, but that's beside the point. They don't identify with the United States as much as they identify with Europe, and they live like Europe. Dinner, late. Do you know how many 10 and 11 o'clock appointments I had for dinner while I was in South America? A lot. I mean, think about this. You know, here you are. You live in the United States of America. You work 9 to 5. Maybe you work 9 to 5:30 or 10 to 6 or whatever. Then you get in your car and you fight the traffic going all the way home. If you do stay out and have a few cold ones, what do? Well, if you're on the West Coast, maybe you'll watch a little Monday Night Football right after you get out of work. There's a little happy hour going on. Even if you're on the East Coast, okay, fine. You eat dinner, then you go watch Monday Night Football at 9 o'clock. That's the way it works. But in Uruguay and Argentina and Colombia and a bunch of these countries, you know what they do? I don't know what they do. Dinner starts at 11 and they are out all night long. Can I tell you something? All night. And if they're not partying, they are sitting interminably drinking the same microscopic little teeny tiny cup of espresso and nursing it for hours and hours and hours and talking contiguously. It goes on and on and on. You know, I was at dinner with a number of people, and you know how it worked? It was like, I'm hanging out. By the way, I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea. The people I met were spectacular. One friendlier than the next. It was amazingly friendly, and I had a lot of fun. And I had dinner with various people, okay? And I'm out at dinner, and you know what? The evening starts, and it's great. People asking me what I think of Uruguay, what I think of Argentina, what I think, blah, blah, blah. What I think of the beach, what I think of the culture, whatever. We're talking, we're chatting, and I'm eating. By the way, lots of meat. It was a great place to be on the Atkins diet, I'll tell you that. So I'm eating dinner. Every night it's more meat and more meat and more meat, and it was great. I lost weight while I was away. It was the best. But the thing is, in the United States, you know what it's like when you have dinner with a friend, right? You go out to wherever you go, the Olive Garden or the Sizzler or wherever you happen to eat, the Black Angus, whatever. TGI Fridays, Applebee's, you know the deal. You go out there, you meet them, have a couple of potato skins and knock back a couple of quick shots or something. Then you order dinner, you get your baby backs or whatever. Then you down some beer or some booze. If there's a game on, you watch it over your buddy's shoulder or whatever, and then, what's the deal, right? By the time the game ends, Laker game will end, 9:45, 9:30 on a given night. Monday Night Football on the West Coast ends at 9 o'clock. East Coast ends at midnight. No. You sit there, and you eat, and you talk, and you talk, and you talk, and you eat. And they don't booze like we do. We're boozing all the time, You would never. You ever go to the restaurant and they say, what would you all like to drink? In all that time I was in South America, not one person, not one, said, I'll have a martini. I'll have a gin and tonic. I'll have a Long Island iced tea. Not once. People drink Diet Coke, which there is called Coke Light. People order a cup of coffee before dinner. People smoke like chimneys. Everybody's smoking cigarettes. 99% of the people I saw still smoking, at least a pack a day, puffing away like chimneys. But what I will say, lest I sound completely negative about this, and I'm not, is that this is the most social group of people I've ever seen, to the point of distraction. They can't stop. Everything is about their friends. These are people, I'll tell you another difference between us and them. In South America, when you have friends, they're like every day in your life, every day. So like if you go out to dinner with your friends on Friday night, and you're out till 3:30 a.m. drinking that last cup of coffee with your friends, you get up at noon on Saturday, and your friend, the same one you had dinner with the night before, calls you and says, what are we doing today? You know what that would be like here. If I go out with somebody on Friday night, I'm unplugging the phone for the next 2 weeks. I don't want to see it. That's about as much as I can handle. Don't call me tomorrow. I'm done. If you call me the day after I see you, I'm thinking to myself, don't you have a life? That's what it's like to be an American. I don't go on vacation with that. These people go on vacation. 4 couples, 6 couples, 8 couples. You know what? I go on vacation. I don't go on vacation, drink coffee, and talk all day. I go on vacation, A, to sit in the sun, B, to booze, and C, to F around. That's it. I don't want other people sitting around talking to me all day long. I want to get away from people. But that's not the way it is in South America. These people go on vacation together. They call each other on the phone 12 times a day. Guys doing it. Guys. I mean, it's one thing if a chick is on the phone all the time. Guys calling their friends all day long. It's amazing. It's different. It's weird. But I did have a lot of fun. And for people who wonder about Uruguay, where I was in a place called Punta del Este, which is a beach community, or Argentina, I highly recommend these places to go and visit. Understand that if you're looking for a place that is like 180 degrees different from where you are now, these places would fit the bill. And people drive like nuts, just like in Italy and France. They drive like insane people. I saw more cars flipped over in 2 weeks than I've ever seen in my entire life, and yet they all drive like that. Unreal. Tailgaters. People slowing down. You got one guy driving 90 and the person ahead of them driving 85, and the person driving 85 gets pissed off about being tailgated, so they slow down and run the risk of being rear-ended. They don't care. They don't friggin' care. All right, well, I've been gone for 3 weeks, so I just had to have a little diarrhea of the mouth there. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ramp up. I'm going to take a few phone calls. I'm going to ramp up. I have not done a show in a long time. So help me out here, will you?
Tom Leykis, 1-800-5800. Tom.
Tom is a talk master, so you can't get on this radio and say certain things to him because he's going to eat you alive.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show, one thing for sure they do not have in South America or just about anywhere else. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Chris on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Mr. Leykis.
Yes, can I help you?
No, I've never listened to your show before. This is the first, and I've got to say, you should stay here in the States to get educated.
Oh?
I learned there were 5 continents. I don't know where you got yourself educated
No,
from.
I was told 7. Dean was told 7. Every American I've spoken to, until you called in, and I don't know who you are. You're probably an agent of a foreign government. Everybody I know says 7. Everybody.
No.
I don't know you.
No.
Brett, did you hear 5 or 7 in school? 7. Brett heard 7. Gary was at 5. 7. Everybody I talk to says 7.
And besides that, the lifestyle you talk about down there, that is American. I don't know why you don't want to see the people that you hang out with, but you know what? The people I look forward to talking to them the next day.
So you talk to them 12 times a day, and you see them every day?
Pretty much. People I work with.
Every day. No. People you work with. No. Stop.
People that
We're not talking about the people you work with. We're talking about your friends. Do you see them every day?
Party friends? The people I party with.
Your friends who are not working with you.
Yeah, I see them too.
Every day. How do you have time to see them every day?
I'm talking every single day.
We're talking about a culture where people see and talk to their friends every. Do you ever shut up?
At least 3.
I've had enough. Jesus Christ. I've been back a full goddamn day yet, and already these bitches are calling in. What the hell is going on? At least for 2 weeks I was with a bunch of submissive women who do what their men say and don't mouth off. I didn't have to look at one fat, mouthy broad in 2 weeks. I got to tell you something. It was refreshing. One chick hotter than the next. All of which want to please their men. All of them. I guarantee you that chick was not married. It just called in. I guarantee it. Well, I don't need a husband. Yeah. Yeah, you keep telling that to yourself there, fatso. Rodrigo on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How are you?
Good.
And I do care.
Thank you.
By the way, I am from Brazil. I heard here that in America, they teach they have 7 continents.
Yes.
But everywhere around the world, they teach they have 5.
I don't know if it's everywhere around the world, but I know in South America they teach that.
Europe. My father is from Italy.
Yes.
He was taught they are 5. I was from Brazil when they was taught there are 5. And to prove that, the rings from the single Olympic Games, they have 5 rings.
Well, that just proves that the people who run the Olympics were taught there were 5. That doesn't prove that there are 5.
No, that's a matter of opinion.
Yes, well, that's my point. I thought that a fact was a fact. I mean, are there 9 planets, 10, 15? Are people teaching different things?
This is the Tom Leykis Show.
Oh, yeah. From Los Angeles. 1-800-5800-TOM. A brand spanking new episode of the Tom Leykis Show as I return from an extended stay in South America. And nice to be home. I had a great time, but it is good to be home. It's John on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Leykis, how you doing? It's my first time calling.
Thank you.
Gotta say, I just got back myself from Punta del Este and then Argentina and Brazil, and I think you're underselling it a little bit. I think you've neglected one very important facet of the trip, which is the ladies. Went down there with my best friend from college and my brother and his best friend, and
let me tell you something. I don't want to undersell that at all because I did say that for 2 weeks I did not see fat, mouthy broads like I see here. One chick was hotter than the next.
Have you ever, I mean, we were talking about, and it is pretty unbelievable. I mean, I think people don't realize that Punta del Este is basically like the Hamptons times South Beach with some Vegas thrown in there.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think what's odd is you're talking about the diet, it's all meat and cheese, and yet you go down there and it's literally There's not the 20%, you go to Zuma in LA or somewhere, you'll see 20% that's just, you turn your head away from. Literally, it's one after the next. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah, one chick was hotter than the next, and they were all in competition for the guys. The guys have it made. They absolutely have it made down there.
I don't know if you found this to be true, but, it's a lot of Argentinians down there. We found that the Brazilians on the whole were a little friendlier than the RGs, but the RG is definitely hotter.
Well, I found the Argentines who were at Punta del Este, I found them to be upper...
Snooty.
They were upper income.
Yes.
And so they were more snobbish, unless you had money. Or, and I talked to many of the guys there, unless you lied about having money. You see, I want to tell you, these are places for 101 students to consider going on vacation. Screw Daytona Beach. You go down to Uruguay. I'm telling you.
And it's cheap. I mean,
it's way cheap.
Yeah. Well, the other question I have for you is...
I want to tell you about, I'm going to tell you how cheap it was, okay? Yeah. I was at I'm sure you'll verify this. I was at a restaurant. I was at more than one restaurant where filet mignon was $7.
The Lomo.
Right. And I went to an expensive restaurant. I went to the best restaurant there, which was a place called Andres, where filet mignon cost a whopping $9.50.
Yep. Well, I have another question for you. I don't know if you tried this drink, and we were talking about it. We were thinking about buying some and bringing some back. They have a derivative of Red Bull there called Speed Unlimited.
Yep.
And I don't know if it's just more powerful or it's illegal or something, but that is the stuff.
Well, I don't think you could even legally get away with naming something Speed in the United States. But yes, I saw it. That is their Red Bull, no doubt about it.
Yeah, well, that's what fuels the 5 a.m. nights. Was there about 5 nights. I saw the sunrise every day.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say hey.
I'm glad you called in. I'm glad we are on the same wavelength here.
Yeah, no, it's great. Got to go back.
John, thank you.
Take care.
Appreciate the call. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Peter on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Peter.
Long-time listener. First-time caller.
Long-time listener. First-time caller.
That's right. I've been listening to you for last maybe 5-6 years.
Good.
Every day, almost every day, man. You're doing the greatest job for the city and for the nation, I tell you that.
It's a public service, as you know.
I know. You're doing a great job. Sometimes you crack me up. Some of these callers, man, you just make my day.
Oh, thank you.
As far as the South American continent, I can tell you this as far as my experience goes. I've been basically around the world, but where I found the most fun for single guys and guys who have a commitment, it's South America, especially Brazil.
Okay. I haven't done Brazil yet, but it's on my list now.
Yeah, really.
Because you know what, a lot of Brazilian chicks were in Uruguay when I was there.
Place to be. I've been to Venezuela and Argentina, but the most fun and sensual woman is down to Brazil.
Yeah, and by the way, it's boys' night out. If you're going down, do not take your girlfriend.
Oh, absolutely not.
Do not. If the girls are going away somewhere, this is your turn, boys. This is where you go.
Life. If you take a girlfriend, absolutely.
Yeah, it's the stupidest thing you ever did. You go by yourself.
Absolutely.
Yes.
No, I've been there. First time I went to Brazil was '97 for Carnival, and since then, every year, you need to relax down there. I mean, LA is a great place. I love LA, but as far as the woman here, forget it.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you a secret. I was literally, I'm not making this up, but literally pitch at a tent at least once every day. I'm not kidding.
I know. You go down to Rio and you don't know where to turn first. You're gonna break your neck. I'm serious. First time I went there, I'm like, You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Always. Turn left and right. You don't see fat chicks down there.
No. Well, here's the thing about fat chicks. I did see fat chicks, but you want to know something?
Okay.
They hide.
Oh, they hide, yeah.
They're completely covered up. They don't want to go out because they're embarrassed, because there's a social stigma to it.
Also, I don't want to interrupt you, but also, what sort of thing, you don't see down there, too? Chick with babies. You don't see babies on the street. You don't see babies.
You know why you don't see? You want to know why you don't see? I'm going to tell you why you don't see babies on the street. I have the answer to that.
Okay.
Because whether you are dating and you're a, God forbid, single mother, and there aren't a lot of those, or if you're married, your mother or your grandmother takes care of your kid.
That's right.
That's it. You don't take people don't take babies to expensive restaurants or dance clubs or movies.
On the plane, everywhere. You just have to.
Oh,
I know.
Love it.
Well,
I'll tell you what, you could go down there with an American chick and end up getting divorced. It's
absolutely. You know, I was in a relationship, and basically that's what happened with me. I mean, she was too jealous because I went there before I met her, and she couldn't handle it.
Yeah, well,
she couldn't handle it, and it stays with their
good riddance to bad rubbish.
They couldn't handle it, because there's a big competition down there.
Oh yeah.
And if big competition. You go down there, and it's like this is the best time of your lifetime.
The chicks are doing ecstasy and speed unlimited, and they're up all night dancing, and they're. By the way, and they have a completely different attitude about sex and nudity. I swear, I was watching the news one night. This is absolutely true. I was watching the news one night,
right?
And every newscast seems to have like 4 people sitting at an anchor desk. It's not 1 or 2 like here's 4 of them.
That's right.
And this one chick was showing cleavage to the max. and suddenly, during a wide shot of all 4 people at the anchor desk, one of her boobs just popped right out in the middle of the newscast.
You're kidding me.
And she just stuffed it back in like nothing happened. Like this happens all the time.
That's so sexual, so sensual. These women, they
love it.
They live it. For them, sex is like.
Any of you men who settled for an American girl, if you saw what I saw the last 2 weeks, you'd dump that bitch and you would go on vacation immediately.
Absolutely. You gotta enjoy life. You gotta enjoy life because tomorrow is not guaranteed. You live today.
Right.
Don't look for yesterday. You live today.
You are right about that, Peter. David Tom is our telephone number. Anthony on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hey, Tommy, how you doing?
All right, babe.
I called up. I'm listening to your program on the way from work habitually for the last couple of months. You touch on a lot of things that I can relate to, and I was involved with this woman, and I moved here from the Northeast, and come here, and I go out to buy some furniture, and she kind of captivated me with her looks. She is from Venezuela, and she was taking care of my parents, and I came in on a second rate and walked in on their conversation with my parents, and I looked at her eye to eye and asked her out for a cup of coffee after, she made a sale with my parents. It was around Valentine's Day last year, so we went out a couple of times, and winds up after the 3rd or 4th date, we did the little hanky-panky together, and she winds up getting pregnant. And as a man, I'm going to stand up, and do what's right for as soon as she found out.
Me as a man, I stand up doing what's right. I stand up and drive her right down to the abortion clinic immediately.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I was raised a little differently than that, my run was pretty good from when I was a late teenager through my 20s, and I traveled throughout the world, and I went to Germany and Austria, Canada. I've been around to Mexico, and back. I've never been to Venezuela or Brazil like I've been hearing you talk about, but, I was lucky enough to experience a lot of places like Greece and Switzerland and stuff, and those women over there were a little wild, too. I mean, you're speaking of a lot of South American women that you came across.
Yeah, I've been to Europe, and I've now been to South America.
Uh-huh.
And I must say, the women are hotter.
Yeah.
Hotter.
Yeah. Well,
they show everything.
Yeah.
They're wild. They start going out to nightclubs when they're 12.
Wow.
They don't booze when they're 12. They go out to clubs. They go out dancing when they're 12, 13 years old.
Uh-huh. Well,
so by the time they're 20, they've had years on the club scene. I mean, it's pretty wide.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is.
Highly recommended to the boys out there. I'll tell you right now. 1-800-5800-TOM. Joe on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Tom, stay away from Argentina. That's not the spot.
Well, it's one of many spots. What's the spot?
The spot, you can go down to Rio, any of the places in Brazil, down that way. But Argentina, I've been all through there, and we go there once a year. Argentina is terrible, flat out terrible. The girls are they're not good looking. All the other spots.
Where were you?
Good looking.
Where were you?
I was down.
These chicks are obsessed about their appearance. I've never seen anything like it. It's remarkable.
Then you go to.
They're obsessed with plastic surgery and tinting their hair, and clothing, and they're slaves to fashion, and they're always running around in designer outfits, designer shoes.
Argentina's the pit. Go any place else. Go down to Peru. Go to Chile.
I was just there. I'm telling you. I don't know what you were seeing.
Hey, whereabouts were you in Argentina?
Buenos Aires.
Right there where they got the downtown there, got the little 4-star hotels, which are the crap. Okay, they got all the red light districts right down off there.
Red light district? Pal, I don't pay for it. I don't know about you.
No. I'm not paying for it. I'm just telling you right where I was.
I was not in the red light district.
Okay, well, where were you? There's a downtown where they got the little disco there.
I don't think you saw much of Argentina. It sounds to me like you were there like for a day or two.
No, I was there for about a week. That's all.
Uh-huh.
But we got the hell out of there. That's not the spot. The girls were terrible.
All right, pal. All I know is what I saw. What I saw looked pretty damn good.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
As soon as she got pregnant, she decided she didn't want to give no more hummus.
Well, if I do that for you, you have to buy me a minivan.
You know what? I bought her a minivan.
Did you get a BJ for that?
Yeah, matter of fact, I did.
There you go, you see?
The Tom Leykis Show. Leykis on Hot.
The Tom Leykis Show from Los Angeles at 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Gabe on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
How you doing, Tom?
Hi, Gabe.
Hey, man, I just had a little something to say for that guy there that just called. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm from Argentina. I grew up in Mendoza, and I've been here for a couple of years, and the chicks down there are just out of control.
They are out of control.
They are just super.
All you have to do is turn on the TV and see the chicks on TV. It's insane.
Right.
They got kid shows hosted by. They look like hookers. I can't believe these women.
Right. Like you're kind of right about what you said about them being a little snobby. They can be a little snobby, but you know, if you show them that you got the money, then everything works.
Well,
out.
if you lie to them about having money.
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
people draw. This is another thing about Argentina. They drive such crappy cars. It would be easy to lie and say you had money.
Well,
you just say, "Well, I'm driving this crappy piece of crap because I don't want to get carjacked."
Right.
That's all those people getting kidnapped and stuff. Oh no, usually I drive a BMW, but now I'm driving a piece of crap.
Right.
Because I don't want to get kidnapped. I don't want to get held up.
Right. Well, that's all I got to say, Tom. That guy's out of control, and you keep going back there, man, because that's the place right there.
Love it. Steve on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tommy.
Hey, Stevie.
I'm 42 years old. Dated a few centerfolds in my time and hung out in L.A. most of my life, surfer, grew up at the beach, and I married a Chilean. And the reason I married a Chilean is because she treats me like a man. She waits on me hand and foot. I come home, Tommy, from work, get in bed, and dinner is served to me.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Every night. I've gone down to Chile many times. The whole family's from there. I got married again down there. Took her down there, remarried her with my kids. Met the whole Chilean family. Maybe some of the most beautiful people in the world and the most social, fun people to be around. They do talk a lot. I got to hand you that. But it's just a beautiful. And Argentinian women may be some of the most beautiful women in the world I've ever seen. I've been everywhere.
Yeah, it's remarkable.
Remarkable. The eyes. Did you see the eyes on them? Those hazel green eyes.
They're hot as hell. They are hot as hell. They're all built. And the ones who aren't quite built perfectly, they go to the plastic surgeon and get it corrected.
But they're clean, Tom. I mean, they're just clean looking. Perfectly clean. I mean, they look like they maintain themselves. They don't have problems and scars and marks all over them. They're beautiful.
Love it.
Tommy, take me out JFK style.
Senior or junior?
Junior.
Here you go. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Steve on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, first-time caller.
Yes.
Man, one thing about Argentina you didn't mention is that the chicks have the greatest asses down there.
Well, there were great asses. But you know who also has great asses? Brazilian chicks.
Oh, yeah,
when I was
Brazil,
in Uruguay, there were a lot of chicks from Brazil there.
Yeah, because I was there for an.
You boys who waste your time going to anywhere they've had an MTV beach house on vacation, you're wasting your time because you still get those bitchy, mouthy broads from New York and places like that. You could be going to be with these hot, compliant women who love Americans.
Oh, yeah.
Please.
Yeah, I was down there. I learned the language down there, and I'm telling you, I was riding the buses in the cities. and we were getting molested on the buses. It was awesome.
Oh, love it. I'll tell you, it's my new fave. I recommend to all the boys, whatever plans you have for vacation, cancel.
That's right.
Cancel them now.
It's worth the sacrifice.
No doubt about it. 16-hour flight, but it was well worth it, boys. Our email address is my name. It's Tom at blowmeuptom.com.